The night was black, starless, heavy with salt and silence. Off the coast of Bermuda, the sea stretched out like a vast, unbroken void. Even the moon had hidden behind the clouds, as if unwilling to witness what was about to happen. On the deck of the Ready sat a steel sphere, alien, out of place, gleaming under the dim lantern light. Some sailors called it the death ball. Others whispered it was a coffin waiting to be sealed. Two men were about to climb inside. Not soldiers, not madmen, but pioneers. William Beebe, naturalist and explorer, placed his palm against the cold iron shell. "This," he said softly, "isn't just a machine, Otis. It's a doorway." Otis Barton, the engineer who had designed it, let out a nervous laugh. "Doorway, coffin, depends on how you look at it. I built her to hold against the weight of an ocean, Will, but I won't lie to you, I don't know if she'll hold." "You built her," Beebe replied firmly, "and I trust her, more than I trust the ship, the crew, or even God himself tonight." The crew worked in silence. None of them would have set foot inside the bathysphere for all the gold in the world. They turned away as the two men squeezed into the narrow space. When the iron hatch slammed shut and bolts locked into place, the sound was final, like a hammer sealing a tomb. The winch groaned, and the bathysphere dipped into the sea. At first, sunlight painted the water gold. Fish darted by, curious, harmless. The men exchanged grins. It almost felt like a joyride. Then the light began to fade. At 200 feet, the world was green. At 400, it was gray. At 600, black. "Feels like falling into a night that never ends," Beebe whispered. The steel sphere creaked. Pressure pressed against the walls, a reminder that death was just inches away. Suddenly, a flash, then another. Before their eyes, the abyss lit up with living fireworks. A jellyfish drifted past, glowing blue. Schools of fish streaked by like shooting stars, their fins glowing red and green. "Jesus," Barton breathed, "it's like Broadway down here." Beebe's eyes shone. "No, it's older, stranger, a city of lights built before man even walked the earth." For a moment, the fear melted into wonder. The bathysphere lurched. The steel cable shuddered. The men slammed against the walls. "What was that?" Barton shouted. Through the porthole, a shadow drifted, massive, slow, and then eyes. Two enormous orbs stared in, unblinking, curious. "God almighty," Beebe's breath caught. "That thing, it's bigger than the sphere, bigger than anything I've ever seen." The shadow slid away, swallowed by darkness, but the men no longer felt like explorers. They felt like prey. At 1,500 feet, Barton froze. A bead of water slid down the steel wall. "No, no," he touched it. "She's leaking. The pressure's finding us." "Stay calm," Beebe ordered, though his voice cracked. "We'll radio the surface. Tell them to bring us up." He grabbed the line. Static. Only static. The radio hissed, sputtered, then died. The bathysphere dangled in silence, a steel coffin hanging by a thread. Minutes dragged like hours, and then a sound. A deep, resonant hum, low as thunder. Not whale song, not anything they'd ever heard. The bathysphere trembled. From below, light began to rise. 100 pinpoints, 1,000, like a galaxy moving upward. They're not fish," Barton whispered, his voice cracked. "They're looking at us." And in the middle of that living constellation, something vast began to stir. It rose like a nightmare, a body longer than a train car, arms unfurling into the dark. A squid, but no squid known to science. It wrapped a tentacle around the bathysphere. The steel groaned. The quartz window spiderwebbed with cracks. Barton's hands shook. If it squeezes, we're pulp, just pulp. BB's voice was steel. Don't you dare give in, not yet. BB grabbed a hammer strapped to the wall and pounded against the hull. Noise, make noise, Otis. Together they hammered, desperate. The sphere rang like a bell in the abyss. The creature recoiled. For a moment, the grip loosened. And then, salvation. The cable jolted. The ship above had begun to haul them back. The monster slipped away into the dark, but the bathysphere was scarred, dented, weakened. The men gasped for breath as oxygen thinned. Will? Barton's eyes were glassy. We're not going to make it. Yes, we will, BB growled. You hear me? We'll make it. If we die, the ocean keeps its secrets. I won't allow it. They forced themselves to breathe slow, counting each inhale, each exhale. Minutes became hours. Death was close enough to taste. And then, light. Sunlight. The hatch burst open. Salt air crashed inside. The men tumbled out onto the deck, coughing, gasping, alive. The sailors stood frozen. The bathysphere's hull was dented, gouged, scarred. Sucker marks the size of dinner plates marred the steel. My God, whispered the captain. What the hell did you see down there? BB, lying flat on the deck, stared at the calm, innocent sea. Something mankind isn't ready to know, he said quietly. Epilogue. The pages that never were. BB would later publish Half Mile Down, a book that described glowing fish, jellyfish, the beauty of the abyss. But the monster? The song? The marks on the steel? Those lived only in his private diary, pages never shown to the world, because some truths were too heavy even for science. And the ocean? The ocean still keeps its secrets.